All right, moving to other global news. A wave of nearly 600 Ukrainian drones targeted Russia overnight in what officials describe as one of the largest aerial barrages of the war so far. Well, Russian officials say 4 people were killed, including 3 in the Moscow region, while dozens of drones were intercepted around the capital. And one of the victims has been identified as an Indian citizen working in Russia. Well, the drone strikes damaged residential buildings in Moscow, shattering windows in high-rise apartments, and sparked fire near infrastructure facilities. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin has said that several workers were injured near the city's oil refinery, though refinery operations were not disrupted. Residents near the impact zones described the scenes of panic and destruction.
The hit was so powerful that it almost knocked me out of bed, and I'm not a light person. I opened my window and saw smoke rising. I went outside and realized that there was a drone strike. I told my wife and kids to hide in our storage room.
At an undisclosed location inside Ukraine, members of the 9th Kairos Battalion prepared long-range drones for launch. Commander of Ukraine's unmanned forces defended the attacks, saying oil export funding Russia's military are legitimate targets.
When we talk about the sources of funding for Putin's war expenses, of course we are talking about Russia's natural resources, which it extracts and exports. As a result, it receives revenue. We are talking about businesses in the fuel and energy sector. We are talking about oil exports, as a result of which blood-stained dollars are directed towards the war, directed toward the businesses of the military-industrial complex.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Ukraine is now capable of striking targets more than 500 kilometers inside Russian territory, despite dense air defenses around Moscow. Now, the strikes come just days after Russia launched one of its heaviest attacks on Kyiv since the conflict began more than 4 years ago. Zelensky called the operation entirely justified.
Ukraine's defense forces, our security service of Ukraine, our intelligence carried out a very large-scale operation in the Moscow region, a good wave of deep strikes. We are ensuring this capability for Ukraine. The distance to the targets this time is more than 500 kilometers, and this is significant also because the Moscow region is the most saturated with Russian air defense systems. They protect their power quarters more than anything else. But Ukraine's long-range moves are already overcoming this.
Russia's RIA state news agency said Moscow intercepted and destroyed at least 3,124 Ukrainian drones. Moscow continued its own attacks overnight, launching drones and missiles targeting Odessa and Dnipro. Meanwhile, neighboring NATO members Lithuania and Latvia are also on alert after stray drones reportedly crossed into their airspace. Officials in Lithuania say a suspected Ukrainian drone crashed near the city of Utena without exploding.